Now we will study about how do metals and non-metals react with each other. When a metal will react with a non-metal, what will be their configuration? What is the phenomena, why they are reacting with each other and how? See, we already know the atomic numbers of these elements. Some noble gases whose octet is complete, we read it in the last year that in the outermost shell whose electrons has 8, they are said to be an octet complete. See, helium atomic number is 2. So we have, this is a atom, K shell, L shell, M and N and so on. This is K shell, L shell, M shell and N. The outermost electrons, if an atomic number is 2, the first will have 2 electrons, then 8 electrons. This is obtained by the octet rule. Octet rule states that the number of electrons in the outermost shell will be 2n square. So the first shell n is equals to 1. So the number of electrons will be 2 into 1 is 2. Then second shell n is equals to 2. So the number of electrons accommodated in this shell will be 2 square is 4, 4 to the 8. Third shell n is equals to 3. So 3 square is 9, 9 to the 18. So the M shell will accommodate 18 electrons in its shell. So if the shell is complete, it has 8 electrons in its outermost shell, then it is said to have obtained an octet. It is said to be stable because it is stable, so it will not lose or gain any electron. See, now the atomic number of helium is 2. The K shell will accommodate 2 electrons, so it has 2 electrons. Neon, the atomic number is 10, so electronic configuration will be 2, 8 and L shell has 8 electrons, so it is said to obtain an octet. Now argon 18, 288. Metals, sodium, potassium, aluminium, magnesium, calcium. So they have an outermost electrons 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. They are not stable. Similarly, metals, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine. The atomic number is 7, 8, 9. So the number of electrons in their shells is 2, 5. So the configuration, electronic configuration of if we write nitrogen atomic number is 7. So the electronic configuration is 2, 5. If we have to write the electronic configuration of these elements, we will write it as 2, 5. Similarly, if we have to write of sulfur atomic number is 16, 2, 8. Now 10, so left is 6. So the outermost shell, KLM, the outermost shell is M. It will accommodate only 6 electrons. To stabilize, to obtain an octet, it has to add 2 electrons in its shell. So this becomes 2s2 plus. This is known as valency. Valency is the number of electrons loose or added in a shell. The number of electrons to be added or to be lost for an element is known as valency. Here sulfur is accommodating 2 electrons in its outermost shell to obtain a stable octet. So its valency is 2 plus. 2 minus, because it is adding 2 electrons. 2 minus, Similarly, if we talk of sodium atomic number is 11, that is 281. Now it is easy for sodium to lose 1 electron instead of gaining 7 electrons. So to lose 1 electron and to add 7 electrons, losing 1 electron is easy. So to obtain an octet, stable octet, so it lose 1 electrons and becomes sodium plus 1, because electron is negative charge. So if it is losing 1 charge, it will acquire a positive charge. So Na plus 1. Similarly, if we talk about calcium is 20. So 2, 8, the 8, 8, 2. So now see, losing 2 electrons is easy as compared to gaining 8 electrons. So we say calcium 2 plus. It is losing 2 electrons. So the valency becomes 2 and the charge on the calcium atom will be 2 plus. So see, sodium has 11 electrons, outermost shell is M. To lose 1 electron, stable octet it will obtain. So nucleus will have 11 protons and 10 neutrons because it has lost 1 electron. so it acquires a positive charge, and positive charge is called cation. Chlorine requires 1 electron to obtain its octet. So if sodium and chlorine will react together, the lost electron from sodium, chlorine will acquire that electron, so the electron sodium loses will be gained by chlorine atom, so it becomes NaCl, that is sodium chloride. And these two elements attract each other by strong electrostatic force of attraction. This is very important. This is ionic bond or electrostatic bond. The NaCl does not exist as molecules but aggregates of oppositely charged ions, because here +1 is there and here -1 is there, and +1 and -1 both are getting attracted towards each other by strong electrostatic forces, and they are forming a compound. So formation of magnesium chloride. See, we know magnesium is 282, so 2 electrons are there in the outermost shell, and chlorine has 7 electrons, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has to obtain 1 electron to obtain its octet, so we'll take 2 chlorines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 electron will be acquired by this chlorine atom and 1 will be obtained by this. So this becomes MgCl2, because 2 chlorine atoms are required and 1 Mg is there, so a magnesium chloride is formed. Compounds formed by the transfer of electrons from a metal to a non-metal is known as ionic compound or electrostatic compound. Now see, the physical properties are solid. It is solid because it is formed by the strong electrostatic forces of attraction. So it is solid. It is hard, same point, and generally brittle, break into pieces when pressure is applied. Now it has high melting and boiling point. Why? See, in order to break this compound, a large amount of heat energy is required to break the strong force. So they have high melting as well as high boiling point. Generally soluble in water but insoluble in solvents like kerosene, petrol. And conduction of electricity through a solution involves the movement of charged particles. They conduct electricity because when they are always existing in the molten state, because the electrostatic forces of attraction between the oppositely charged ions are overcome due to the heat. Whenever heat is passed through the ionic compound, so heat is applied, the electrostatic force of attraction will break and the ions move freely, and when the compound water becomes ionic, then it will conduct electricity. So when electricity is passed to the solution, ionic compounds in solid state do not conduct electricity, but movement of ions is not possible due to their brittle structure. But when they are in the molten state, they will conduct electricity, because molten state में ions अलग हो जाएंगे and ionic solution will conduct electricity. But जब वो solid state में, then it will not conduct electricity due to its rigid structure. So now write the electron dot structure for sodium. So sodium 2818 is 1. Oxygen. See, oxygen atomic number is 8. So electronic configuration becomes 26. So if we have to write the electron dot structure, we'll say O and 6 cross 3, 4, 5, 6. This becomes the electron dot structure for oxygen. Now we have magnesium. Magnesium atomic number is 12. That means 282. So magnesium and 2 dot, because it is the outermost electron is having 2 electrons. Now show the formation of Na2O and MgO. See, O oxygen valency is 2 minus. So we require 2 sodium atoms. So Na1 and Na1. So oxygen 2, because 6 electrons are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 this atom will give and 1 electron this atom will give. So this will become Na2O, because 2 elements of oxygen is required. Now MgO. Mg has 2 and oxygen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It requires 2 electrons to obtain its octet. So 1 electron and 2 electron. This becomes MgO. What are the ions present in the compound? See, 2 Na plus, because 2 atoms are there, and O2 minus. And in the second one, Mg plus 2 and O2 minus, because it requires 2 electrons and it will lose 2 electrons. Why do ionic compounds have high melting point? Because to break the strong force of attraction, a large considerable amount of heat energy is required. So therefore ionic compounds have high melting point. Thank you.